Hi there, in this video I will show you how to make a fake interior mapping shader for Blender. I know there are already alternatives for this, but I wanted to get a different approach, and after watching this Unity tutorial, I knew it was possible in Blender. I will leave a link in the description for the Unity tutorial. Before we start, I want to make clear that this method works best if you have an acquire rectangular image of a cubic room. You most likely can adjust the nodes to make it work for non-cubic rooms, but what I want to show is how to get this. Since Blender and Unity have some nodes with different names, took me time and a lot of trial and error, but finally I managed to replicate the shader in Blender. Let's start. First we add a plane. Rotate it in edit mode to work as a window. Create a texture coordinate node. Connect the UV to a vector math node and set it to fraction. Connect that to a multiply node and set the X, Y, and Z at the bottom to a value of 2. After that, connect that to a subtract node and the X, Y, and Z at the bottom to a value of 1. Use the separate X, Y, Z node, and connect the X and Z to a combine X, Y, Z node. Leave the Y value of the combine to 1. Create a geometry node and hook the incoming socket to a multiply node with the bottom vector to a value of -1. Connect the multiply node with a divide vector math, leaving the top vector with a value of 1. Hook that to an absolute vector math, and below that, a multiply node. Connect the combine XYZ to the second vector of the multiply node. Create a subtract vector math and connect the absolute to the top vector and the multiply to the second vector. Use a separate XYZ and connect the X and Y to a minimum vector math. Duplicate the minimum node, and connect both and the Z value of the separate node to the second vector. Create a multiply node and connect it to the previous node on the second vector. Now connect the vector of the multiply node after the geometry incoming to the first vector of the last multiply node you created. Create an add vector math and connect the previous multiply to the first vector and the combine XYZ vector to the second vector. Make a multiply node and connect the add node to the top and leave the bottom values to 1. Finally, create a vector rotate to rotate the shader if needed. I use the 90-degree value. That's the shader. To use it you need to create an environment texture node as if it was an HDRI. You can make more adjustments to use different textures and tiling it, but I want to keep it simple for this tutorial. As an extra, I will show you how to create a room texture for this method. It's quite simple. In a new project, you put the camera at the center of a cube, reset the rotation and leave the x-axis to 90 degrees. You can delete the face facing backwards to the camera since it won't be rendered with the shader. You probably will need to scale the objects along one axis so it doesn't look stretched. After you created the room, just render it and use it in the shader. Make sure the image has an aspect ratio of 2:1. You can use PNG, but I will use EXR. With Blender 3.0, rendering rectangular images is faster than before. I hope this can help you. If you liked the video, please go visit the source video and give both videos a like. Thanks for watching.